Welcome to EduRev.
Hi all, my name is Sarika Tulsiani, and today in this video we are going to have a look at the concept of proportion. Also, we'll be solving a few sums on the same. So let's understand what do we mean by proportion. What is proportion? See, understand when two ratios are equal, okay, when two ratios are equal, they are said to be in proportion. So for example, if I give you two ratios, let's say 1/2 and let's say 200/400, correct? They are equal, right? Because this is 1/2, this is also 1/2. So both of them are said to be in proportion. So suppose if I tell you, if A/B is equal to C/D, okay? So A, B, C, D are said to be in proportion. So how do you write this? You write this as A is to B is the same as C is to D. Okay? A is to B is the same as C is to D. Here B and C are called as means. Okay? B and C are called as means. Similarly, A and D are called as extremes. Okay, A and D are called as extremes because they are at the corners and C are in the center, so they are called as the means. Here A is called as the first proportion, B is called as the second proportion, C is the third proportion and D is the fourth proportion. So there are four proportions in this case. So A is to B is the same as C is to D. So basically what do we do here? We just cross multiply. Can I say A into D is equal to B into C? Because if A by B is equal to C by D, A into D will be the same as B into C. So what does this mean? This means that the product of extremes, because A and D are extremes, is the same as product of means. Okay? Product of extremes is the same as product of means. So this is what is the basis of proportion. Now suppose if I tell you, if A/B is equal to C/D, let's say if I add a constant here plus K. Similarly, A/D plus K will be the same as C/D plus K because A/D ka value and C/D ka value is the same. So if I add K on both sides, still both of them will be in proportion. Similarly, if I subtract K on both sides, they will still be in proportion. So whether you add the same number or subtract the same number, they are still said to be in proportion. So using this concept, we can derive a few more concepts. What are those concepts? Let's understand. Now, see, componendo. Now what is componendo? I'll tell you. Suppose if I tell you A/B is equal to C/D. Okay? What do? Instead of adding K, let's say I add 1 to both sides. They are still equal. So if I cross multiply, this will become A plus B/B is equal to C plus D/D. Correct? So A plus B/B is the same as C plus D/D. This is nothing but componendo. So this is the property which is derived from proportion. Okay? So this is componendo. Similarly, if I subtract 1 from both sides, okay? A by B minus 1 is equal to C by D minus 1. So what will this mean? This will mean A minus B/B is equal to C minus D/D. So this property is called as dividendo. So if two ratios are in proportion, the dividend is also correct. It is also valid. Now suppose if I divide this first relation from the second relation. If I divide first upon second, what will I get? I will get A plus B upon A minus B, because your BB will get cancelled, is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. Again your DD will get cancelled. So this relation is called as componendo dividendo. Okay? So this is also derived from proportion. Also, what is alternando? It's a very basic property. Suppose if A upon B is equal to C upon D, so what do? We'll just interchange B and C. So this will also mean A upon C is equal to B upon D. So this is called as alternando. And finally you have invertendo. Now what does invertendo mean? If A upon B is equal to C upon D, it also means B upon A is equal to D upon C. You will just inverse the ratios, that's it. So this property is called as invertendo. Now from this we can derive some more properties. A very important property of proportion is, suppose if I tell you, let's say if A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to E upon F. If all three of them are equal, they are also equal to A plus C plus E upon B plus D plus F. So you take certain ratios which are equal. If I add all the numerators upon I add all the denominators, the addition values, the added values will also be equal to the original ratio. Okay? So for example, suppose if I take 1 upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 4 is equal to, let's say, 4 upon 8, because all the values are 1 upon 2. So this is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 4, which is 7 upon 2 plus 4, 6 plus 8 is 14, which is also 1 upon 2. Now this is a very, very important property which can be used in quite a few questions. Because this is equal, I can also write this as it is also equal to, suppose if I multiply, let's say, 2 in the numerator and denominator, and let's say I multiply 5 in the numerator and denominator. So your this fraction, if A upon B is equal to 2C upon 2D is equal to 5E upon 5F, that is also equal to A plus 2C plus 5E upon B plus 2D plus 5F. Even they are equal. So you can take any number in the numerator denominator, it will still be equal to the original one. Okay? So this is a very, very important property which can be used in quite a few questions. Now let's move on to the next concept, which is mean proportion. Now what do you mean by mean proportion? Now when you say the term mean matlab the middle two terms. So when the middle two terms are equal, it is said to be in mean proportion. So that means A upon B is equal to B upon C. So basically you write this as A is to B is the same as B is to C. Okay, so when the meanth term is the same, it is called as mean proportion. Now in this case, A is called as the first proportion, B is called as the mean proportion, and C is called as the third proportion. Okay, so this is the property of mean proportion. So what do we do here? We again cross multiply here. So we will get B square is equal to AC, or B is equal to root of AC. So this is what is mean proportion. Suppose if I tell you, let's say my first term is 4, my mean proportion is 8, what is my third proportion? What is my third proportion? So how will you write this as? You will write this as 8 square, because this is your mean proportion, that is equal to 4 into your third proportion. So this is 64 is equal to 4 into your third proportion. So 64 upon 4. So 16 fours are 64. So this 16 is nothing but your third proportion. So this is how you can calculate whatever value which is asked. Okay? Now let's look at a word problem. What does it say? It says if Kp upon Q plus R, so Kp upon Q plus R is equal to Kq upon P plus R is equal to Kr upon P plus Q is equal to Z, and K is not equal to 0, what is the value of Z? Okay, what is the value of Z? We just learned one property. If the three ratios are equal, they are also equal to the addition of all of them. So these ratios are also equal to k times the addition of all of them. So that is k times p plus q plus r upon addition of the denominator. So q will come twice, so that is 2 times q, p will come twice, plus r will come twice. This is equal to z. So generally I'll tell you what happens. Generally what do students do? They will just cancel this out. ठीक है, p plus q plus r, p plus q plus r cancel कर देते हैं, and they say k upon 2 is the value of z, and they mark the answer as k by 2 and come. Now this is not a wrong answer. ठीक है, it's not a wrong answer, but it's an incomplete answer. This is not the only value for z. You will get one more value for z, but we forget that because we don't consider the other case. ठीक है, so what will be the other case? देखो, once you reach this stage, what will I do is, this is k times p plus q plus r. This is equal to z into, this will be z into 2. This will come outside and this will be again p plus q plus r. ठीक है, so if we take everything on one side, this will be k times p plus q plus r minus 2z into p plus q plus r is equal to 0. ठीक है, now we'll take p plus q plus r common into k minus 2z is 0. When the product of two terms is 0, one of them has to be 0. So that means either your p plus q plus r is equal to 0 or your k minus 2z is equal to 0. So if k minus 2z is equal to 0, we already get the value of z, which is already interpreted here. So that is already obtained. Let's focus on this result, the first result. If p plus q plus r is 0, then can I say p plus q is equal to minus r? I'll take r on the other side. ठीक है, अभी इन तीनों में से you can take any relation. Suppose if I pick this relation, ठीक है, I pick this relation. We know kr upon p plus q is equal to z. ठीक है, kr. So I'll write kr as it is upon p plus q. But I know p plus q is minus r. ठीक है, so upon minus r is equal to z. So your rr will get cancelled. So your value of z is equal to minus k. So z can be k by 2, but it can also be minus k. So we end up forgetting this result. ठीक है, so make sure you don't miss out on this second part and obtain two values. So this is how you're going to solve this problem. Now let's have a look at the next problem. What does it say? Okay, it says if 324 is the third proportion of p and q, ठीक है, it's the third proportion of p and q, and 12 is the mean proportion of p and q, what is the value of p? ठीक है, what is the value of p? See, first of all, we know 12 is the mean proportion. So that means what? P is the first proportion, 12 is the mean proportion, q is the third proportion. If it is the mean proportion, can I say b square is equal to ac? So that means your 12 square is equal to p into q. So that will become 144 is equal to p into q because 12 is the mean proportion. Now in the first case, they are saying 324 is the third proportion of p and q. 324 is the third proportion. What does that mean? P, q and your third proportion is 324. So can I say q square is equal to p into 324? Correct? Q square is p into 324 because q is your mean proportion, 324 is the third proportion and p is the first proportion. Now from this case, can I say q is equal to 144 upon p? I've just taken p on the other side. So I'll substitute q square as 144 upon p the whole square. That is equal to p into 324 because we want the value of p. They are asking you what is the value of p. ठीक है? Now what will happen is, don't sit and calculate 144 square because it's a very big number and we don't require that. ठीक है? I'll keep it as it is, 144 square. I'll take 324 in the denominator. This will become p square. I'll take it on the other side. This will become p cube, because this is p square and this is p, so it will become p cube. Okay? Now p cube is 144 square upon 324. Now can I write 144 as 16 into 9? Okay, 144 is 16 into 9, the whole square. Now what is 324? 324 is basically 18 square. This is equal to p cube. So I can write this as 16 into 9 upon 18, the whole square is equal to p cube. This will become 9 ones are 9 twos are. Okay? 16 upon 2 is 8 square is equal to p cube. Correct? 8 square is what? 8 square is 64 is equal to p cube. 64 is p cube. So can I say 64 is 4 cube? 4 cube is equal to p cube. So your value of p will become 4. So this is your answer. So the main part of this question was to understand what is the mean proportion and what is the third proportion and how to apply the concept here. Okay? Now let's look at the next question. What does it say? There are two numbers a square and 9. Their mean proportion is b. Find the value of the given expression. They're asking you what is the value of this expression. So you have two numbers. First is a square, second is 9. The mean proportion is b. So the middle value is b. So if mean proportion is b, can I say b square is equal to first term into last term? So b square is a square into 9. So b square is equal to 9a square. Can I also say b is equal to 3a? If b square is 9a square, b is definitely equal to 3a. Now they are asking us what is the value of a square plus b square upon b square minus a square. What is the value of this expression? Now what I can do is I can substitute b is equal to 3a. So what will happen? A square will be as it is. B square will be 9a square upon b square is again 9a square minus a square. So 1 plus 9 will become 10a square upon 9 minus 1 will become 8a square. So a square will get cancelled. 10 upon 8 is the same as 5 upon 4. So if you want to convert this into a decimal value, it will become 1.25. So value of the given question or the solution is 1.25. Okay? So in this video, we have seen the basic concept of proportion and solved a few good questions on the same. So once you're done with watching this video, I would request you to go and try certain questions on this topic. We have a huge range of questions prepared by EduRev educators. So please go and try those questions amongst the mock series. So once you're done, once you give the mock test, you'll be really confident whether you're really sure about the topic or not. And then you can come back and ask your doubts and queries regarding the same. For anything or for any query, you can write into us at support@edurev.in, and for anything else, you can also visit the website, that is www.edurev.in. I hope this video has cleared your concept of proportions. Thank you so much.